Welcome to the 9:30 call. Again, I'm Titus Dostromedius, the Deputy Director at Strategies for Children and substituting for Amy O'Leary, who is away traveling to a conference this morning. And my co-host is Jaylise LeBlanc from our Advocacy Network. Hello, Jaylise.
Good morning.
I'm going to share my screen. We're going to talk all about the Advocacy Network today. And we're going to hear from several of our advocate alumni who are in the room today in the 9:30 call. Our advocacy network has just completed its third year, its third cohort. We have actually grown to 29 alumni of our advocacy network, which is amazing. When we received grant funding 3 years ago from Boston Children's Collaboration for Community Health, we had this vision of going through 3 cohorts, and it has pretty much stayed on track. We've learned so much about the process of, running a program like this. And we've learned so much too from the individual advocates who have been part of our journey and taken the journey with us. So this blog, I'll put the link in the chat, but this blog here is from August 15th, highlighting our reception for reflection, celebrating our third cohort of the Advocacy Network, and several of them are here today with us. This is a YouTube video of the recording of our reception for reflection, which is sort of like a graduation for our alumni. They start with us in October, and they go 11 months with us through August. We have monthly meetings, and we go over a lot of content and work and relationship building and learning, sharing in our monthly meetings. And then the advocates work independently on projects related to their goals or leadership development or advocacy activities that we send to them. It's really a variety of activity that advocates take on as really extra work, extra professional development throughout the month. So they're giving roughly 10 hours per month to this program. And so these are our advocates from cohort 3. I'm not going to show the video because it's right here in the blog. I'll put the blog link in the chat, and I do encourage you, though, to watch our reception for reflection video when you have time later this week. Some of the highlights from the reception, of course, we want to thank again our funder, Boston Children's Hospital. This is a project grant that we received from Boston Children's, and we have just been renewed for 4 more years of funding to continue the advocacy network. So we're very excited about that, and we are grateful for that support. So in the reception for reflection, we talked about our voices are very important. Our voices matter. Our stories have the power to influence policy and policy makers. And there are pathways that educators and providers can travel to move from the work of early education and care or early childhood, direct service more broadly into the field of policymaking or advocacy or leadership, right? And this advocacy network experience hopefully provides a platform for people to make those career advancements on a personal level. Advocacy by the numbers. So our cohort 3, just cohort 3 alone, remember we have 29 alumni, but in cohort 3 there were 12 individuals, many of whom are on this call today. Year 3, so cohort 3, in year 3, the cohort generated 217 total training hours. That's our monthly meetings, one-on-one support sessions, pretty much all of them run by Jaylise. Thank you, Jaylise, for being with us and for providing that one-on-one support. And then we have small group sessions as well when we have a specific topic like, going further on advocacy or communications. We worked on Instagram takeovers, so we had some small group sessions to support the advocates. We also, so we monitor like the inputs and the outputs, or the process indicators and then the outcome indicators. So we're putting in like this time, this training time, the one-on-one meetings, and then the advocates themselves as they absorb all of that, as they learn, as they reflect, as they have those aha moments, they start to engage in advocacy on their own and with us. So the third bullet here, 98 advocacy testimonies, emails, sign-on letters, phone calls to state and local policymakers. These include attending advocacy days at the State House, inviting advocates to come to their programs, and see the children, see the space, meet families. Those are very, very important things. I can't do those things as an advocate. There's a lot I can do, but I don't have access to a program, right? I'm working in an office or in my home. You, the advocates in the early childhood field who have family child care homes, who have centers, and other programs, you're the ones who can actually invite the policymakers, the elected officials, the administration officials to see this work, this field, firsthand, learn from it, engage with it, take in the space, and that has a huge, huge impact. It changes the policymakers' minds and for the better, right? It molds their mind to think about what it's like in this field, what the needs are, and why are we all doing this, for the children and the families that we serve. Also, speaking roles, leadership roles, appearances in our blog, 930 call, Instagram takeovers, and news articles as well. And I think that's all I wanted to share from this page. Oh, the map. I have to share this because I actually make all those stars one by one, copy paste in in PowerPoint and put them on the map. Each star represents an alumni. So we have 29 alumni now, and they are here. Mostly they are in Boston or greater Boston, but we have Central Mass, Western Mass, Berkshires, and we're going to hopefully add more in the South Coast this fall, and possibly other areas north of Worcester, et cetera, where you can kind of see some gaps currently. So yeah, that is a bit about the Advocacy Network. I'm going to stop sharing screen, and then I'll put some links in the chat. Jayleese, do you have anything else that you'd like to share about our Advocacy Network? And then maybe you can turn it over to our alumni. But one last thing I will share, though, is we are recruiting for cohort 4. So I'll put some of those links in the chat while Jayleese and the alumni are talking.
That's what I was going to talk about, is the recruitment and kind of what people can expect and how it goes.
Perfect.
So the Advocacy Network is, I think, a wonderful time for people to connect with each other and to make connections for their own personal growth, for their professional growth. And I think I like to feel like we've built a really strong community between each other. And these monthly meetings are the highlight for all of us. I know sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating for people to think about, what does advocacy look like? How many hours? This seems like a lot of hours. We are with you every step of the way, and your cohort members are also with you every step of the way. And I feel like that was kind of a big takeaway for this cohort in particular. And I would like some of our most recent cohort members to talk. And the first person I actually see, if they can come off mute, is maybe Christine Ashman. Are you available to come off mute and maybe say a little something about your time at the Advocacy Network?
I am.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, yeah, it was an amazing opportunity. And like Julie said, our group really came together. There was 12 of us, and we really got to know each other. And at the reception for reflection, I was reflecting on the fact that when we first started, like, you could hear the nervousness in everyone's voice when we were first introducing ourselves and talking to ourselves. And by the end, how confident people became, and on a personal note, I ran into my state senator yesterday outside the polling, and I felt confident enough to walk up and say, hi. And I recognized him and went over and said, hello, I have a question, so I don't think I would have done that, a year ago. So it was good. You made me realize, we have a voice and they want to hear it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that, Christine. Thank you for that. Is there anyone else in our cohorts, from our cohorts, that is available to come off mute? I don't see anybody on video, but if you'd like, you can just pop off mute. Paula, good
Hello,
morning.
good morning, everybody. I just want to say this past year have been one of the immense growth for us and learning and collaboration between all of the group. Being part of the advocacy network empower us to raise our voices and contribute to shaping policies that impact the lives of young children. So I want to tell everybody who's not has the time to register for the cohort number 4, do it, because we need more people like you, brave in this field, to raise your voices. Begin the advocacy journey, I remember we had many opportunities. So you had the opportunity to talk to politicians and ask them how they can help us in our field. So I'm very scared, and also open doors for Latino community. I just want to tell to my colleagues in the Latino community to be brave and raise your voices.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, that's something that I think if people are feeling a little bit nervous or a little bit curious about the Advocacy Network, we are having some info sessions. Titus, when are those info sessions again? Are they next week?
They are
On
in 2
Tuesday?
weeks.
2 weeks.
Tuesday, September 17th. There's going to be one at 1 p.m. and one at 6 p.m. because we know many folks with day jobs in early childhood can't just like dip out of the classroom at 1 o'clock. So we're doing 2 sessions, 1 p.m., 6 p.m. Tuesday, September 17th. The link to RSVP for those is on our Advocacy Network webpage. I'll put the link again in the chat.
Thank you. So yeah, I really think if you're feeling a bit curious, even if you're a bit nervous about it, just come to the info session and pop in. You can ask some questions. It's really casual. So I, would like to invite everyone to do that. Cherish, I see your face. Would you like to say something too? Would you like to join in the conversation?
Yeah, definitely. I'll join in. I'll just, second that it was an amazing experience and that there was a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity to learn more about the legislative process. Even if we didn't fully 100% grasp it, we got more information about the legislative process, and it takes the politics out of advocacy and really lets us see that it's all about relationships and who you know and who has your back and how you can and once again that your voice matters and that your legislators want to hear it, because often in early child care our voices are not heard and we feel that it's seen as just babysitters and things like that. And so I think the Advocacy Network gave people a platform to really let their voices be heard and to also learn to have relationships and just grow.
That's great. We really do love to be able to support you in that way. I think that's something we heard a lot, is how intimidating or scary legislation can seem, or government officials, and we get a lot of good people who join us, and I think we all realize how we are all just people and we all want to make connections, and I think that's been really good. Is there anyone else here? Titus, do you see anyone?
Well, I saw Jade earlier, and I see Evelyn. I wonder if Jade or Evelyn can come up. Perhaps they are working, but I will I will give Jade a shout out, because Jade, you heard Jade, who's the center director based in, I believe, the Cambridge or Greater Boston area. Her project is about, okay, backing up a step. The advocates each design and implement a project. Oh, thanks, Jade. I will just sing your praises for a moment. So all our advocates design and implement a project that they think will advance their own journey, their knowledge, or their advocacy work in general. usually it's aligned with Strategies for Children's own policy and advocacy agenda, right? Or it takes, fills in a gap of our own knowledge. So Jade came up with this project about bridging the gap between early childhood administrators and early childhood educators, classroom educators, because she has noticed there's often like a gap, right? Like the classroom educator has their priorities, their work, their stress level, and then the administrator has their own like levels of stress and pressures and goals and deadlines, right? And there isn't always time to bridge the gap between the two. And that's what Jade's project was all about. She interviewed educators and directors to learn more about some of these kind of like systemic barriers in our field, and started to document that, and is working, I think will continue that project into the future to see where that could go. Maybe that becomes, a professional development, or a panel discussion at a conference, or another continued research project. So that kind of work that our advocates do, they have the time and the interest and the passion in their projects. And then it opens our eyes at Strategies. I know Jaylease, like you probably feel the same. Like it really sheds light onto what they are experiencing, seeing as the needs in the early childhood field, and puts it on our radar for our team at Strategies for Children. So thank you, Jade, and to all the advocates who have done amazing projects. Jaylease, is there anyone else who you think could come off and share? I see some chat too. What am I missing in the chat?
There's a lot going on in the chat. A lot of support for the previous
Yep.
cohorts. If you get some time, Titus, you should scroll and find the picture that Terrell posted of Paula. It's lovely.
Great. Yes, I see that. That is the best chat I think we have today. So good work there, Harold and Paula. Evelyn, I'm not sure if you can come off mute, but you put something in chat. Love the experience so much. Support and encouragement to each other. The know-how and the know-who. Very important, right? We are kind of sharing what we know about advocacy, about systemic change, about getting things done, about influence. We're sharing what we have learned over almost 25 years of history at Strategies for Children with people who want to learn about advocacy. And it's not just the knowledge, like Cherish was saying, the legislative process and the budget and all those little details of how a bill becomes a law. It's also knowing who is influencing what, so that you can direct your energy to the appropriate person, whether it's, a mayor, a state legislator, someone in the administration. We had Secretary Tutwiler, education secretary here in Massachusetts, spoke to our advocates, and they have engaged him, and they have developed relationships with him, which is great. But it's knowing, all these layers of the key influence and the key decision makers, who does what and when to talk to them about what. I think that's part of the thing that we hope everyone walks away with. And thank you, Evelyn, for putting that in chat. The know-how and the know-who. I need to put a heart on that so that it gets up to 5. Okay, good. Any
Titus, we
comments
also
or
have
questions? Oh, sorry, Jaylease, what were we saying?
we also have Sarah Mule here from cohort 2.
Excellent.
So I
Sarah?
think this would be a good opportunity to hear from 2 cohorts past.
Hi, everybody. So I am the lone star down in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, all the way Western Mass. So I just wanted to say hi and congratulations to all of you who just came through the cohort. I know that you had an amazing experience. I'm sure the thing that I took away was exactly what was already talked about, those relationships that we built together, the people that we met, and that feeling of validation and knowing that we're doing really great work, I think is super important. And then the know who is definitely something that I learned a lot about, understanding who to go to for certain things, how to advocate for ourselves even better. The director group that I help facilitate here in Berkshire County, we're getting together next week on the 10th. It's our first meeting of our new school year, and we're really excited. And it's just such a great opportunity to come together with people that you can support and also have those great ideas of how to advocate for what you need in your center, as well as what we need in our collective areas. Berkshire County, always felt like we were not part of Massachusetts for a long time. So I think we're now finally getting our voices out there and really advocating for what we need, including the fact that we were able to have, Secretary Tutwiler and Commissioner Kershaw come out to Berkshire County to listen to us, to allow us to advocate for our area, and just let them know that we're here and we're really proud of what we do, and we still need support from the state. So I think that was great that we were able to do that and host them. And it's, we're a movement as far as I'm concerned. This is one of the best things that ever came out of COVID, in my opinion. It's an amazing program that you guys have put together at Strategies, and it really has brought so many different areas of Massachusetts together. And just being able to share all of the knowledge and experience and information. I mean, we still have connections together, and it's wonderful. So congratulations, everybody. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm proud of myself for doing it. And so I'm really happy that you all are on board and get the word out there. This is the most amazing experience for sure.
Thanks so much, Sarah, and thanks for representing
Sure.
cohort 2. Was that session part of the listening session that the task force listening session that Commissioner and Secretary Tutwiler were at in the Berkshires? Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
We know several of our advocates attended those, and one other thing I'll just mention is we try to integrate the advocacy network into everything we do at Strategies for Children. So obviously, like the 9:30 call that we're on right now, but also our early childhood agenda, where we have work groups and coalitions and quarterly meetings, and we had a big meeting in May at Polar Park. We have a fall meeting planned on October 16th. The Advocacy Network alum took leadership roles in the early childhood agenda. They're serving as lived experience leaders and helping facilitate work groups. So those are just two examples, but it might be something that is a one-off opportunity, like serving on a panel or going to the State House to testify along with our staff, or teaching Advocacy 101 to others. We get a lot of requests. Amy can't be everywhere all the time as much as she can almost do that because she is superhuman. But we really do rely on and like to collaborate with our advocacy network when we get a request to teach Advocacy 101, to speak at a panel, or to even have a leadership opportunity, like joining a board. A member of our cohort 3 joined a board of directors this year through an opportunity that we saw and we thought she might be a good fit for. So it's things like that where we're trying to make those natural connections, but integrate it into the very fiber of Strategies for Children. Great. And I see Caroline, Emily, Jaylees, if you can hear me still, is there anyone else who you wanted to put on the spot or invite to speak before we close?
I think we can just throw it out there that if anyone would like to speak in these last minute and a half, that they can come off mute. Otherwise, I think everyone did well. Is there anyone else who would like to come off mute from our
Hello, Harold Blanco over here.
Oh, hey, Harold. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for all and sharing all this great information to everybody and encouraging everybody to go and apply for the cohort. It's a wonderful experience. And one thing that maybe my other fellows that speak before me forgot to mention is how fun it is to do this cohort. How fun it was to do the cohort, just the experience of learning from everybody, from meeting everybody at the Polar Park, It was really, really, really a fun experience. So this is serious business, but it can be done through it could be a fun experience too. So thank you very much to everyone from Strategies for Children for this wonderful experience.
Thank you,
Bye.
Harold.
Bye.
We try to have fun, Harold. Thank you. I'm glad we succeed. And thank you, Leah Cooley, as well, who was in the chat. You are definitely one of our alumni who have gone on to be a leader in so many ways, including on the early childhood agenda work group that you're participating in. So thank you. And hello to you. Any last comments? Tom, are you itching to make a comment, Tom Weber? I see your chats, and I would love to hear you sing the James Taylor theme song, but maybe we'll save that for another day. I can't hear you, Tom. Oh well, just chat for today, Tom. We'll get you we'll get you on the open mic in a future meeting. Thank you, everyone. It's 10 o'clock, and we're gonna close for now. Thank you all for listening, joining the 9:30 call. We'll be back tomorrow with a different guest for our regular 9:30 call.